All right, hi everybody. My name is Zach. I'm going to be conducting our website designer webinar. Today we're going to be covering creation of menu items and drop-down menu items, customizing the graphics, banner, and header from both new and all of our new style layouts, how to choose from layouts and templates within the actual website designer and homepage. We will also be covering how to do some basic stuff with custom widgets in the homepage, modify images and positions within stories, and working with widgets in general. So today, you guys can see that I have our little Rotary Club website here set up, and right now it is just using one of our new themes. This is the Vision theme. It has the floating menu, so when you scroll down here, and it also has this nice menu icon. All of our new next generation themes have these nice menu icons, even the newest ones with banners. So I am, according to our notes here for our webinar, I'm going to go ahead and get started working with the menu first, since that is the first thing here on our list. So I have cheated a little bit. I am already logged into the website designer for ClubRunner, and I am going to sneak out here and get into the thing. So basically what I did is I logged into ClubRunner, and after logging into ClubRunner, I chose the website tab and then website designer. And whenever you guys are working on the website, biggest tip we can always give you, always have your home page open in another window, another tab, or if you are concerned with like how a guest is going to see it, another browser is definitely recommended. So just to get started here, we're in the website designer. We are going to go into the menu section. So as you can see, we have lots of menus here. We have lots of menu items. We have a folder for our foundation, folder for our members only, and a whole bunch of individual links. So the menu system is really straightforward. It allows you to link to things that are already built into ClubRunner or things that are external to ClubRunner, but it does not do anything to actually, like if I add a new menu item, that does not create a new page on the website. It doesn't create a new photo album on the website. It just is a link to something. And one of a really common question that we do tend to get is, I put a link on the menu, where do I edit that? You always want to think about this the other way first. You can't point to something if it doesn't exist yet. So you always are going to want to go and create your custom page or create your photo album or create your event before you link it in the menu. But since we have a whole bunch of stuff, let's kind of let's start at the beginning here. So we have a whole bunch of links, and if we switch back to our menu here, you will see that we currently have 3 rows of menus, and I think the site would look a lot nicer if we got it down to 1 row, or at least 1 row most of the time. So we're going to do a little bit of cleanup here. So what I want to do is I want to create a folder to condense some of this stuff. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add a new menu item. Let's call it About Our Club, and we will leave the link type as folder. But since we're here looking at this link type is the most powerful thing in ClubRunner. You really don't need to know where most things in ClubRunner are, as long as you know what the thing is. So for example, if I wanted to link into a page that is already part of ClubRunner, that like a contact page or the list of photo albums or the list of stories pages, they're all here under these built-in pages. And you can see stuff like we have the home for the home page, bulletin list for the list of your bulletins that are public, club executives page, a built-in contact us page, all of the homepage download files, the event calendar, the event list, the photo albums list. We have a search page in ClubRunner. This is the bulletin sign up, like to sign up as a bulletin subscribers, list of speakers, list of stories, and then we have some links that are all internal. But most of the pages in this system follow this same format. First you pick the type of thing, so custom page, and then we would pick the actual custom page in here. So we did say that we wanted to get this started with a folder, and that's what we'll do. Well, that is a bit embarrassing. All right, let's go back here. Let me reload this. Did it make my folder? It did not. So let's try that one more time. Second time was successful. As a general note, if you guys ever do get an error message like we saw flash up on the screen, the quickest and easiest thing to do would be to copy it, come to clubrunnersupport.com, start a conversation with us. We'll choose club, and it's like, I ran into an error. The error ID was X, and I had it. Fill out the rest of the form and shoot it off to us. We really appreciate feedback, suggestions, problems, all that stuff. So just to show you guys how simple that is. And I'm sure I cheated a little bit by being really quick. But to get back to the fun and important things, so we have added our new folder about our club. First thing I'm going to do, this is way too far down. I need this to be more prominent. I am going to click and drag it up to the top here. And you can, it might be not all that easy to see, but there's a little orange line there, which means I'm going to drop it right there. So I want to move news and media. And you can see this red outline. That means it's going to go into here. So news and media has gone in there. I'm going to put the calendar. Put the calendar in there. I'm going to put our custom page in there. I am going to put our site page in there, my site page. Oh, there we go. Let's see. I will leave contact us. Let's put this Google link in there. For Member Plus, I'm going to put that under Members Only. We'll put the About Me in there too. So now you can see that I've moved a fair number of these links around. If we go back to our website though, and we refresh the page, oops, sorry, it's not there. So I'm going to use the F5 key on my keyboard. I'm on Windows keyboard here to reload it. You can see the menu hasn't changed. The reason the menu hasn't changed is all changes in the menu system are drafted. So now that I've made all these changes, I need to publish my menu. And now that the menu has published, we can navigate back to our home page. In this case, I'm going to click our menu home icon. And you can see we have made some significant progress on reducing the number of items on our menu bar, but we still have a few too many. So really the only thing, we need to get rid of one of these, and I think I'm going to move the Rotary.org under the foundation. So one of the things though, so when I move this Rotary.org under our foundation menu here, you'll notice that it lost its nice primary button. The only thing that can be primary or secondary are top level links. Anything in a subfolder won't show up that way. I'm also going to move the Taste of Elk Grove underneath our other folder here. And of course, I would probably spend a lot more time if this was actually my website that I used every day to make sure all these links were in a really nice order. But now we've cleaned it up. We've got 3 menus and 1 button. Let me publish all those changes. When in doubt, it's always cool to publish again. It's just a good thing to do. So I'm going to reload the page one more time, and now we have a super nice, super clean menu. Whenever you guys are working in your folders, you always want these top-level links or anything else that will slide out into another item. So let me show you a good example here. So we have this Google link. I'm going to put this Google link under custom page, and I will publish it. And on a desktop, this won't cause any problems whatsoever. So now I can see this. But if I was on a mobile device, if I was on my iPhone or my Android, I would never be able to get to the Google link because here, I will cheat a little bit. I will give you guys a preview of what this would look like on a mobile phone. So I'm going to put this on an iPhone 8. So here's the ClubRunner view in an iPhone 8. This is a representation of what it might look like. I can click on this menu. I can click on About Our Club, but if I try to click this, it's going to take me right to the custom page. So it's a very important thing. Whenever you guys have menu items that are a folder, it really does need to be a folder. So to switch really quickly back in here, what I would do is I would edit this custom page. I would change it to folder. I'll change the title to Custom Pages, even though that's not really what it is. And now I would add one new item here under Custom Pages, Custom Page, just to link it to the actual custom page. Hit save. We'll publish my menu. We'll go back to our iPhone style layout, and I will reload the page again by clicking on the menu. So you can see my cursor here. I'm going to click on the menu to expand. I'm going to click on About Our Club, and then when I click on Custom Pages, I can now see our little individual items. So it's a really minor thing, but it is something that comes up often enough that we like to make note about it. So that is going to end our demonstration for the menu. So let's dive into changing themes, and then I will talk a little bit about the banners. So switching back to our website designer here, I am going to go into the themes section. So right now, this club is using the Vision theme. As you can see, Vision has it has a couple nice things. So it has no banner. There is nothing above the menu bar that is a banner. Like there's no older banners. It does have a menu home icon, which is this guy, and the Vision theme also has a floating menu. So if I switch back here, I did kind of show it off at the beginning, but as I scroll down this page, you will see that the menu stays with us. And coming back in, we can take a look at some of the other colors. Maybe we don't like the green. Maybe this is a Rotaract club and they want the red cranberry color. You can see that that's here. And you can switch individual colors on your theme by just clicking through these color swatches here. The really nice thing about all of this is that until I press publish here, I'm just looking at it. So these changes that I'm making have no impact on the website yet. But let's say I want a banner back. I can check out this cloud theme here by clicking on it. And you will see now that our site has gone through some changes. The menu is no longer the topmost item. We have this nice banner. We still have our pretty nice menu, but this icon doesn't look quite as nice as it used to. And you can see again that we have a wide variety of colors and swatches that match, you know, rotary and non-rotary themes alike. And clicking on this stuff is really straightforward. And so that's the new cloud theme. This is brand new. It just got released last week. Same thing with the elegant theme. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll use cloud and we'll use the default color scheme for cloud. So I will go ahead and publish this change. Once I've made that change, this theme will now take over pretty much immediately. So I will switch back to our home page. I will click on our menu home icon, and as you can see already, the ClubRunner website has switched. It was that easy. So in addition, we'll show a couple different things here real quickly. So let's say we now switch to this theme. We don't want this menu home icon showing anymore. That is taken care of in the center. So I will go to the settings real quick. I will go to upload menu home icon, and then I will remove the menu logo. Go ahead and publish it. And then, let me close this guy. Yeah, I don't need to put a ticket in. I will go ahead and reload this page. And as you can see, our menu home icon has disappeared. So the nice thing is, though, all these new themes still support this primary, secondary button structure, so you have something that still stands out on the menu. Phil, oh no, I'm sorry, not Phil. Brian asked about how I view each banner without publishing it, and I will get to that right now. So now that I've showed you guys the menu and I've showed you guys how to switch themes, we will jump right into the banner designer. So we can edit our banners by going into the designer and choosing the banners area. And now you can see we have a whole bunch of different banners on this account for various different clubs and demos that we've given in the past. And we can edit any one of these that we want without actually setting it. So let's say I want this one. I can hit activate. This will change immediately. So if I come back to the website here, you can see that it now has this this new section. So, to go on, if you can tell, you might be able to see right now that this image doesn't come all the way across. It basically just, you need to come back in here and save and publish it. And if I switch back to the home page, the banner will now look much better on here. So Brian did have a question about the theme. So let me switch back real quick. He was asking about changing it. So when you are in the theme section, you can click on either the primary like preview of this image, which will set you to the default theme for that banner, which is usually just the first one. But if you want to change individual colors, you can click on these little ones. And all of these changes are here just in the back end. Until I click publish, none of these changes that I'm making will go out to the website. Does that make sense, Brian? Brian, since you're having some issues, what I would suggest is we talk about this either after this, or I can give you a call, or have one of the team members here give you a call. So I am going to move right along. We're going to dive into the actual website designer. So we are going to pop into the content section here. So if just in case this is exactly where you wanted to go, you would start with the website tab, website designer. Once you're on the designer page, you go into the content section to edit content. So once this page is here, there are some things we can do. Obviously, we very much can drag and drop widgets, any of these widgets that we want. So for example, if I wanted this meeting information, right now it's in this top section, but I could drag it down here. I could have also dragged this widget down here and get rid of him because I have two. The widget system in ClubRunner works very similarly to the menu and some of the other changes that we've been making today. Adding or removing a widget or changing its location on the page requires a publish. But any other changes, like if I change the list of stories, and that doesn't require a publish, but like I'm going to remove homepage stories because it's in here twice. You can see that we have a couple things in here a few times. So I'm going to go through and clean some of this up so it looks a lot nicer. I think that's the only test events left now. News from the club. We have speaker on both sides. We have custom pages on both sides. Oh, we have it here too. So now that this looks a lot cleaner, I can go ahead and publish it. So all of the changes that I just made, taking stuff away, moving stuff around, etc., we can come back to the home page, we can refresh it, and we will see that all of those changes that we just made have gone through, and it looks a lot nicer and cleaner on our home page. A thing that does come up often is people are like, oh, I don't like this 3-column layout, or I have a 2-column layout, I want to change it. All of that is done through content templates, probably a little bit better known as a layout, and you can see we have a ton of different ones in here. We typically, if you're using any of our new themes, we do recommend any of the themes that have this gold band. It usually says something about full width. These are the nice new layouts. Some of these older ones that we have here will be retired in the near future, but anything that says full width plus something else is more than likely a new theme. So right now we're on a 3-column theme, but I want to change it to a 2-column theme. So I can click this 2-column theme, I can hit confirm. Any of the widgets that were already in the main section will stay there. The right section widgets will also stay there, but the other things are gone. Now, just because they're gone and not on the page doesn't mean they've been removed. All of your widgets are always here on the left-hand side under Essentials, Links, Events, Bulletin and PR, or custom widgets. Either global, these are widgets that can be used on every custom page in ClubRunner, or custom page specific. So these are just things for the home page, and you can see we have a pretty good chunk of them. So let me publish this change. As an example, if you wanted to see this change before you published it, you can always use the page preview. And as you can see here, I can see now, again, the page previews are always only about the page you're looking at. You can't go through the rest of the website. I would say in most cases, though, if things look good on your home page, there's a really good chance that they're going to look good everywhere else. So I'm going to go back to our home page here. I will reload the page. And as you can see, we've now changed to this 2-column layout, which has given our primary content a lot more focus on the website. So one of the things that we do want to cover is working a little bit with the custom widgets. So I'm going to go back into the website designer. And I know that I want an image dropped in here. And images is something that comes up really often with us. So I dragged and dropped a new custom widget. And since it's brand new, it takes me immediately into the custom widget. And I want an image. So to get started, I'm going to get rid of all the text. I don't want any text. I know I want this image to be centered. And so in the rare case that you are centering images, it's usually easier to center first and then insert the image. Now there's 2 ways to insert images into ClubRunner when you are working with any of the website designer. It doesn't matter if it's a story or a custom widget or a global widget or anything that lets you edit stuff in ClubRunner. In the most case, we'll have 2 ways. We'll have the image button, which this is really great if you think or you know that the image is already in ClubRunner. So you can click on the image button, which pops up this nice image properties box, and then we can hit Browse Server. And this will allow us to look at all of the images that are already in ClubRunner, either ClubRunner images, which are images that we have available for everyone to use. For our Rotary clubs, there are Rotary images that are all basically things from the brand center, from Rotary International, that are easy to reuse. And we also have your own images, so any of the images that you guys are using, and then photo albums. So if you have any photo albums with photos in them, you can also reference these. So, I can come up to this photo album and choose a photo in here. So let's just choose the desert photo since this is the one I found. And you'll see that puts it in here at its height and width that it is already set. Now, if you wanted to have some pop-up or alternative text for screen readers, this is a good place to do it. If you wanted to give it a border or any vertical or horizontal padding. So I can say, yeah, I want it to have 5 pixels of horizontal space and 5 pixels of vertical space. It just gives it a nice little bit of padding. The align, because this image is centered, I'm really happy with it, but this align option allows you to float an image either to the left or to the right, and the text will go around it. I'm not going to use that in this example, though. So let me hit OK. And now we have our nice picture in here, and I will hit enter so I can get underneath it. Another thing that does come up really often, people get a little agitated by if you see this here, you'll see that the font and the size aren't set. We actually can't show you the font or the font size because we don't know what it's going to be. So in this case, this custom widget can be used on the home page. It can be used on 4 other pages, and all of these pages can have a whole bunch of different values impacting how they will show up on the page. So if you set a font type, we don't really recommend it, but it is here. This will always override regardless of the ClubRunner theme. Same thing with the size. In most cases, though, if you just type your text in there, it will respect whatever fonts that your theme has set up to use. So the only thing that we do recommend, though, very often is using this styling dropdown. So if I wanted it to be like a header, like a nice big text image, this doesn't matter if I change 3 other themes 4 years down the line, that text will still be appropriate for that theme. So that is usually what we do recommend for people to change their text to. And you can see that it now shows the heading 2 option. So let me go ahead and save this. So now that I've done that and I've got my custom widget here, I'm going to do one more thing, and that's I'm going to dive into the properties. As a general rule of thumb, most widgets have some sort of property configuration, and this property configuration allows you to affect more about the widget. So if I come into the properties here, we can see here's a general preview. It doesn't actually show any of the content, but it shows you a preview of what this will be. So I can uncheck Show Border, and it will remove some of the border effects on the widget. I can also say I don't want the title to show. There is still a title, and that's still good for you to know what the title is. That way you can reference it. But now you'll see that custom widget has disappeared. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. And since we added a widget to the home page, we do need to make that publish. So now that I'm on the home page, I will now reload. And you can see our nice photo is right there in the center. Now, the other way that we can add a photo, let's say you know for a fact the next photo that you want, for example, is not in ClubRunner. This little guy right here is the Add Image thing. So this button will directly pop up, pick the photo off your computer. I'm going to choose the koala because I'm quite fond of him, and boom, it's in ClubRunner. It was quite literally that simple. I will center this image again, and you know what? This guy is way too big. So we have two options here to make him smaller. We can right-click on him and choose Image Properties, or if we double-click on him, it will also launch the Image Properties box. So I know that his companion here is 500 pixels. When this little lock here is set, it will always keep these two values in relation to each other for aspect ratio, and I did want the 5 H space and V space. Okay, so now you can see the photos aligned. They look exactly the same. It looks really nice. Just to show you guys really quickly, so I'm going to turn the centering off. I'm going to double click this guy again. I'm going to shrink him a whole lot more. I'm going to get him down to like a nice little picture. And I'm also going to set it to align to the left. So you can see in the preview how the text has flown around it. Now, I don't have any text for him yet, but if you give me just a second, I will generate some generic useless text, and we can shove it in there. So I'm using what's a text called lorem ipsum. It's just Greek. Not Greek, it's just Latin words. They all sound Latin-y, they look Latin-y, but they don't actually have anything. They don't mean anything. Or at least they don't mean anything in the order that they're given. So I went ahead and changed that, and since I was making changes directly to the widget, it will not, those changes will take effect immediately. So now you can see we have our nice little koala photo. He is doing his thing by being floated over to the left here, and all the text goes around him. Relatively easy, relatively straightforward. So lastly, I'll cover stories pretty quickly here. And we'll do widgets in the story. So let's do the widgets really quick. I did glance over them, but I'll give you guys a rundown. So for the essential widgets, these are the ones that we feel very strongly about that are used most often. So meeting information is basically the club's information widget. It's really just a pull of default information in ClubRunner. So things like the club greeting, the club motto, when and where you guys meet, at what location, your phone and public contact information, and things like some links for your bulletin, a custom link, a district site link, and a venue map link. Like the venue map is a link to your meeting location. Your executives and directors, so any of the executives and directors that are within your club. Homepage stories, so this is a list of stories for the homepage. Homepage news, this is a secondary list of stories for your homepage. Homepage download files is a list of all your download files. Photo albums are all of the photo albums assigned to the homepage. Custom and site pages work just like the homepage photo albums, and basically you assign a list of custom pages or site pages to them, and they show up when the widget's there. Birthdays and anniversaries are a list of your birthdays and anniversaries, just like it sounds like. The President's widget is the President's message widget. It does default to a picture of your president if he's in there, and you can also add a whole bunch of text. It works a lot like a custom widget. The last two things we have are the Contact Us widget, which you guys saw a little bit earlier on the website, maybe just in passing, but it basically lets you set an email address and it lets people contact you via that email address. Lastly is the carousel. The carousel widget itself is really nice. It basically pulls directly from a photo album, and if I were to go back to the home page, that is this guy. So in here, we have exactly 2 photos in this case, which is something we recommend somewhere between like 2 to 5 photos. You can absolutely do a 1-photo carousel if you want, and the nice thing is you can turn it all off and it just expands to the touches of the edge. Going on links, these are links widgets. It basically allows you to create a collection of links for your site. So you can just have a widget that's a whole bunch of links to different things, either in ClubRunner or outside of ClubRunner. Usually I see a lot of clubs use something like this for, oh, hey, here's our district website, here's Rotary International, here's our link to our foundation page. It's a nice like menu, and you can reuse them between different pages. So if you want to make a whole bunch of custom pages, which work just like the home page, you can use a links widget to create a set of links that interlink all of them to you. The events widgets are things all related to events. So we have the mini calendar. It literally is a little calendar. Any of the days of the month that have events will be in a different color. It doesn't show up super well right here, but you can see like the 2nd, the 9th, the 16th, the 23rd, and the 28th all have events. We have the speakers widget. This shows your list of upcoming speakers. Upcoming events shows your list of upcoming events, and meeting responsibilities pulls anything out of the duty roster and displays it. Bulletin and PR, so this is your public relations kind of stuff. A widget that lets people subscribe to your bulletin. A widget that shows all of your recent bulletins, just like stories, etc. A Facebook like button. It allows people to like the page that they're currently looking at. A built-in list of Rotary International links. So these would only be available for our Rotary subscribers, but they're links for Rotary. So Rotary International, the President, the Global Rewards Program, How to Join Rotary, History of Rotary, Rotary Foundation, and a guide for new members. There is no way to change the links in this widget, FYI. The RSS widget lets you pull an RSS feed from any third-party websites. By default, for our Rotary customers, it does default to the Rotary International RSS feed. The last 3 things we have here are the sponsors widget. So one sponsors widget for all the sponsors that are in ClubRunner, one for an animated sponsor that scrolls through them like the carousel, and lastly a sponsor widget that will show one sponsor at a time, and based on a lot of things, it's not quite random, but it's essentially random. It really depends on how many people are looking at different pages, but it basically rotates through a single sponsor. Last, we have our custom widgets. The only real difference between these two is a global custom widget can be used on every page in ClubRunner, so like all of your other custom pages and the home page. Or if you have a page-specific widget, it will only be available on this page. So I can't reuse these page-specific widgets on other pages, which is usually a question we get, oh, which should I use? And what we usually tell people is that if you're going to reuse it, like let's say you have not a sponsor, but let's say you have a widget that has like all of your social media links, like your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Twitter, your Snapchat, your WhatsApp, like any of those things, you could put all of those in with nice little pictures into a custom widget, and then you can put that custom widget globally across all of your other custom pages. So, but if you know you're not going to reuse it anywhere else, page-specific widgets are better. It makes it so it doesn't clog up all of your other pages with widgets you're not going to use. So those are all of our widgets, and I believe that is the majority of the actual webinar. Now, for those of you who stayed to the end, and I'm very appreciative, I will show you guys something brand new for our new website beta designer. If you guys have had any experience with the new bulletin designer, this is going to be pretty much, you should be right at home. So I won't go into everything, but I will show it off since it's been sitting here, and you guys have all stayed to the end. So the really nice thing about the new website designer is that it's interactive. It looks more like what your website will look like when you're finished with it. So here, this is the new website designer. You can see we got rid of a lot of the extra clutter. It's just the website designer. So from here, I have all of the same things I had access to before, plus one extra. We have these nice pre-formatted widgets. These are all really nice helper widgets. They basically take, here, here's an article widget. This isn't a story, it's just a widget that helps you organize your content into a specific layout. So just like the regular website designer, we drag and drop the widgets in where we want them. Our club photos, let's center this. We will put this guy, we will link him to our desert photo that we just had. Here. So I put some text in there, and I will cheat again with some more generic text just to help fill this out. Put a line break, big paragraph of junk text. Then for this little guy here, I can click him, and I can actually say, oh, I want him to be a primary button, not a secondary button, and I want him to go to a photo album. And I will just choose a photo album. I can also set it to open in a new window, but since we're not leaving the website, I'm not going to set that. The same thing with this image over here. We can click this, and we can also set this to go to that same photo album. So now that I've made all of these changes, I will go ahead and publish. And one of the other nice things about this new website designer, we can also see the other themes just like we were doing before, so we can preview them just like previously. I can also take a look at any of the layouts, and only new layouts are supported in the new website designer, so you do have to use one of these. One of the last really nice things about this, actually let me change the theme back real quick. So I moved our theme back. One of the last really nice things that we have here is this new preview system. So if I click on the big desktop, iMac looking icon here, I will get a desktop style preview. But I can also see a tablet preview. So this is in a vertical orientation, so something like an iPad, or I can see something like a cell phone. Now I can't click any of the links, and I can't make anything open, but it at least gives you a pretty good idea how things are going to look like on your website. None of the links here work though while you're looking at it in the preview. So I did publish anything. I'm going to go back, and if we go to the home page, we will see that my new widget is there, and I would say this looks really nice. So all those all of these things here, we have all of these nice pre-formatted widgets, and they're basically custom widgets that have a bunch of placeholders for you guys to put stuff into. So we have stuff like 3 columns for text, so this is 3 columns but with images above the 3 columns. Just like this. So if I wanted to do 3 photos, for example, I can do the desert. I can do the hydrangea, and just for brevity's sake, I will do the desert again, and then, we can add our text. And I'm sure I misspelled desert there. The really nice thing about the new website designer is the moment you guys click out of it, it is saved. There isn't if you see me moving around here, there is no saving. Whenever you do something, it is saved. It basically drafts all of these changes, and whenever I'm ready for all of them to go out, I just publish. So if I switch back to our homepage here and I reload our page, you will see that I now have our new 3-column layout. All right. So now that I think I've gone through pretty much everything in our agenda, I'm going to open up the floor to some questions, and I'll start with Brian, who is here first. Hi, Brian. Did you guys, now I know you had some other questions, and I think we can follow those up later, but was there anything else besides the specific issue you mentioned to me in chat that you wanted to talk about with the website?
How do you edit the Facebook URL destination?
So for are you talking about the Facebook widget that I covered in the Bulletin and PR section here?
Yes.
So that is currently a bit of an odd little widget. It's kind of old. It is actually just a like button, like I like this page. It doesn't link directly to your club's Facebook account or anything like that. What we do have on ClubRunner support, oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Sorry about that. ClubRunner. We do have a Facebook page widget, which is this guy here, the Facebook page plugin. There are a lot of conditions to this, but it isn't very hard. So I'm going to pull open, oh, that's the Facebook page. So to get started, we go here. This comes to the page plugin section on Facebook. I'm just going to use Facebook's Facebook's page here on this. Oh, my mouse was stuck. I'm just going to use Facebook to make it easier. Actually, I could also use ClubRunner. So this gives me the ClubRunner account, which you guys can like and follow on Facebook to stay up to date with stuff. But I don't want the timeline, so I can get rid of that. So now it's just here. Maybe I don't want friends' faces showing, so I can uncheck that. And then you can even go a lot further to say, let's use the small header, which now we've basically gotten down to a Facebook like button that will just be a like button for your club's page. Hit get code. All we need is this step 2 code here. I know, like, the whole guide follows along this whole process. But then I can come back into the designer here. I can use a custom page-specific widget, or I might want to use a global one instead, depending. But I will grab this global one. I will drop it. Let me scroll down the page a little bit. I don't want it front and center. I want it right here in this right column, so I'll drop it in there. Just have to wait for it to load. So it's in there. I'm going to use our full edit widget mode because I need to get into the source code here. But all we have to do is hit the source, paste our new code, Facebook, save and publish. And then I will publish the homepage and come back here. And now when I scroll down, it'll take a second. It's got to load everything. Now we can have this nice little ClubRunner Facebook icon here. So when I click this, I am actually liking the Facebook page, not liking this club website. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So obviously you saw me do it blisteringly fast. In most cases, if you are struggling with it a little bit, we will try and help you out. But yeah, the hardest thing to do on this whole page is just get the page URL right and then make some changes. Was there anything else, Brian?
Yeah, that the banner picture you have of the people sitting around the table looks really good. Is that available to us? Yes.
So if you come to the ClubRunner support website, if you search the word carousel, there is this guy right here, Carousel Best Practices and Images. This is the most up-to-date one. All of the images that we've pulled from here are from Rotary.org. They are specifically for Rotary clubs. I don't think anyone here is not in a Rotary club, but these are specifically from Rotary for Rotary clubs. You guys can go to images.rotary.org. It is a fantastic resource for stock images, but these are basically just stock images that we cropped and put into a really nice framing with the same kind of like concept. So, the first set of pictures here are joining leaders. The next set of pictures are Rotarians out in the world working on things. And then the last thing are, pictures of people doing positive things. So we got a guy moving stuff around, people picking food and grain, working with children. Again, here's some more manual labor, and then this last one is always the most popular one because that is a volunteer giving out a polio vaccine. But you guys can save these, put them in your photo albums for your club, or, you know, make your own.
And quick question on the Facebook help that you were just on a moment ago. Was that the website widget or the website content with the Facebook plugin?
That is the website content with the Facebook plugin.
Thank you.
Oops, I misspelled that, which doesn't help. So for Facebook, it's number 2 here. How do I add the Facebook page plugin?
Thank you.
Awesome. Brian, I will grab your email and I will follow up with you after this, or one of my teammates may, and we'll take a look and figure out what's going on with the issue you described. All right?
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. So, George, you are next on the list. Did you have any other questions or concerns about any of the things we covered?
Actually, no, you've just covered them just at the last, so I'll struggle through it and get back if I need.
Absolutely. So just, you know, if you guys are struggling, this is just a general comment. You can absolutely give us a call. We're available Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. And typically, if you call, if for some reason you don't get a hold of us, leave us a voicemail with your name, time you'd prefer a call back. Like if you guys are outside of the East Coast, and if you let us know, oh, hey, like if you're in California and you're totally cool with us calling you at 6 a.m. in the morning when we get into the office, we will do that. But otherwise, we typically won't call back until we know that, you know, it's at least 8 or 9-ish, depending on the day and how busy we are and stuff like that. Of course, you can always come to ClubRunnerSupport.com to start a conversation with us. Well, that used to say, anyway, you can come here and put in a support ticket, etc., and send us an email. You can also just send an email directly to support@clubrunner.ca anytime, day or night, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. On average, it takes about a day. We usually get back to people within 24 hours. It doesn't, you know, it's not 100% of the time, but yeah. All right. Thank you very much, George. And then Phil, I see you last. I know you've sent me some questions. Did you have any other comments or concerns?
No, not really. The only thing is was this recorded, and will we be able to use it pretty soon?
This webinar was recorded. I don't know whether or not we'll have a chance to put, like, how quickly we'll be able to put it up. I do know that I think we're missing a more modern website designer webinar, but we might go through and record it again before we might go through and do a proper recording where I'm not stumbling through some of my words.
No,
But yeah.
You did an awesome job today.
Thank you very much for that, Phil. So I think that covers everything with the exception of Mr. Brian, and I will follow up with you. Like I said, I'll have someone on our team or myself will follow up with you here in just a little bit. So since you guys stayed to the end, I thank you very much for your time and attention today. If you guys have any other questions or concerns, once again, you can contact us Monday to Friday, 9:30 to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The phone number is 877-469-2582. One more time, 877-469-2582, and then option 2 for the support team. You can also hit option 1 if you have sales questions or concerns, like you guys want to order other add-on modules or other questions like that. And you can, of course, visit us anytime at ClubRunnerSupport.com for our help desk. Thank you, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end this webinar.